what supplements do we need if we're on a plant-based diet, a high raw vegan diet, a brain healthy diet? Let's get into it, right? Let's get into the weeds. First, let me just say, I'm Samantha Salmon. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. I am not a physician. So when in regards to supplements, questions about supplements, I would highly recommend you run labs. I always have all my clients run labs, especially since we're focused on the health of the brain. There are some labs that are really essential and important for that. Some numbers that we need to know so we know what to focus on, what we want to improve and optimize, right? You want to go to your physician, run your labs, and have a conversation with your doctor if supplementation may be needed, okay? I am not against supplementation. Some people actually need it, and we'll talk about some of the reasons why. But I love some of my mentors. Dr. Baxter Montgomery is one of my mentors. Dr. Doug Graham, one of my mentors. And when I say mentors, they're mentors from afar. Their work has been highly influential in how I see food as medicine, right? And they've said or been in agreement that you should not use supplements unless your lab work is showing that it's needed and you're not able to cover it from a food source. Even Dr. Daniel Amen says, or either Amen or Dr. Hyman, one of them, has said that it would be great. I think both of them even have said this, that it would be great if you could get everything from food, but most people just aren't eating in a way to get all of these things. Now, I'm going to say for me personally, I can't swallow pills, right? I don't swallow pills. I cannot swallow pills. And I don't do injections. I don't do any of those things. So my baseline foundation is that I am going to get these nutrients from foods, right? That is my plan. That's just what I do. I will find the food source and I will get it from there. But obviously you need to look at your own body, what you're able to do, what your body's saying it needs. And so for you, as you're thinking about it, I'm going to cover some of the nutrients that's important that physicians, the health and wellness world has been talking about, that it's important to be mindful of, and why, and all of that. So you can see how you can cover your bases, okay? So ultimately, if we want a healthy brain, we have to have a healthy gut microbiome. In order to have a healthy gut, we want to have a variety of different plants, like 30 plus plant foods a week. We want to eat whole foods, not processed foods, right? And so these foods, they're rich in fiber, antioxidants, phytonutrients, and they protect against chronic disease. And since it's new for most people, some planning is essential, especially if you're doing 100% raw or high raw. You just want to be a little bit more intentional. You may need to orient your mind a little bit differently to how you were thinking about nutrition prior. So let's dive into some of these essential nutrients when we're thinking about brain health, right? Vitamin B12 is the first one we're going to touch on. So vitamin B12 is important. I've been to conferences where it's being pushed heavily and they're like, you can't have too much, you can't have too much. But if you research it, you actually can have too much B12. And that's the problem with supplements, right? You can OD on certain nutrients that actually your body doesn't like when you get too much of it because it can't get rid of it. And so that can cause problems. And so with B12, you can. I personally, I have a ton of recipes with nutritional yeasts that I use, and that's how I'm getting in my B12. I have experimented with B12 supplementation just to see if it would do anything for my energy or anything like that. But again, if you're running your labs and your B12 is fine, then you don't need because these supplements on the market, first of all, you're getting so much more than you need with each dose. And there's a reason why it's like that, which I may have written a blog about on my website, RawFoodMealPlanner.com. But ultimately, you'll have these doctors, they're very concerned. They're like, you need to have a B12 supplement. And I say, just check where you're at. And if you're low, you can get a B12 supplement. There is another perspective about B12 supplementation that says that synthetic B12, which is the supplements, right? It's not natural, it's a synthetic formulated recipe, is really not helpful. And that what is being said about the consequences of a B12 deficiency is a symptom of poor gut health. And you can get natural B12 from spirulina, chlorella, and sea vegetables like nori, or fermented foods like tempeh or sauerkraut. I will post a link in the description on this article that's going into that. That's why I feel like more research is needed on B12, because there are people who are like, listen, I've been eating vegan, I've been eating raw for decades, and I don't have a deficiency. I have run labs, I've never had a deficiency. So explain to me, medical establishment, why you feel like everybody needs to be supplementing on this. And that is a point, because science doesn't know all the things. So it's one of those things. If you're really concerned about it, just talk to your doctor. But I will put resources, that article, in the description so you can read it for yourself. The second supplement would be omega-3 fatty acids. This is really important. You can get omega-3 fatty acids from plants, and I've talked about this extensively on my blog on how the plant sources are sufficient because your body can convert it to what it needs. So foods like walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, these are all omega-3 sources. You can also get an algae supplement if you need to, if you are somehow low when you run your labs. But omega-3s are really important for brain health. The third nutrient is iodine. And this is a really interesting one because there's a lot of vegan doctors who are like, you need to do iodized salt. The problem with that is that iodine is a chemical formulation and is not a natural iodine source. There are natural sources of iodine like sea vegetables like nori, dulse, and arami. I think that's how you pronounce it, arami. And two, and I'm specifically saying these because not all sea vegetables you want to consume, because kelp apparently has dangerously high levels of iodine. This is one of those things where you can have too much. Hijiki is an iodine source, but it contains high levels of arsenic. So you want to be careful about those two. But nori, dulse, and arami, these are great sources of iodine. But again, if you're not running low, I don't see why you would want to do a supplementation. Food sources are always there for you. Number 4, there's vitamin D. And I actually just went to an event with some health professionals in Florida, gathered in Central Florida, and folks were talking about, and this one functional medicine doctor, she says she puts all her clients or patients on vitamin D. And the guy next to me was like, I'm on vitamin D. And I'm like, we are in sunny Florida, so that is really a shame. But I've heard Dr. Amin even talk about how he's in sunny California and he had to take a vitamin D supplement because he's working so much. He's indoors all the time. And so when he ran his labs, his vitamin D was really low. So if you're having a situation like this, it makes sense that you would want to supplement with vitamin D. I like to make sure I get outside and get at least 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight, but I can do that. I live in Florida and it's on my calendar. That's an intentional grounding moment in my day. And lastly, some other nutrients. What about protein, iron, zinc, calcium? I did a whole video on protein, so we're covered there. We know we don't really need to supplement with protein. We don't need the protein powders or all of that. But these other nutrients like iron, zinc, and calcium, this would be best to get from your food, from the plants that you're eating. And you're going to get them by rotating, by having that variety. So foods like lentils, spinach, sesame seeds, steel cut oats, right? If you're sprouting foods, if you're fermenting foods, these even boost the absorption of these nutrients even more. So all of these things, most of them, you can get from foods. And if you need to supplement, that's the main message, is run your labs first. Know where you are first, because the whole idea that more is better, which is just like a mantra or value of America, right? We want bigger, more, and all of that is better. When it comes to the body, things have to be in balance. More is not always better. Sometimes more and bigger puts us into problems, right? And we have levels of toxicity, and that causes more damage. So you want to run your labs, know what you're doing, have a conversation with your doctor, and I hope that helps.